From the fiery tales of the dictatorial and draconian military to the much anticipated transition to democratic rule, 26 years on, have things fared better for Nigerians, you and I? Many observers have called for the sanctity of the ballot and the much touted odyssey of building a strong democratic institution and culture. In a solemn resolution by the National Assembly, the Legislative Chamber vowed to deliver on its promise of electoral reforms. What will be the components of this electoral draft? How will this navigate the nation from the past electoral landmines? I am delighted to have Honorable Adebayo Balogun, Chairman, House Committee on Electoral Matters, here on Prime Time. Glad to have you join us on Prime Time, Adebayo. Yeah. Why has it been, over the years, difficult for Nigeria to have what you would call credible and transparent elections, unlike Ghana just had theirs the other day, Senegal just had theirs? Some blame it on politicians like you, others on INEC.
Blame it on everybody. We are Nigerians. And naturally laws are expected to evolve and based on the circumstance that you find yourself. And one thing we've vowed in this 10th Assembly is that under our legislative agenda, under the leadership of Right Honorable Tajuddin Abbas, we've agreed that we are going to give Nigerians, our dear country, an electoral act that will ensure free, fair, and credible election, ensure that all litigations are concluded before swearing in, and we're going to ensure inclusivity as pertaining to age, gender, PWD. We're even looking at the area of inmates.
You want
voting.
to expand on that inclusivity?
Yeah, I said as refers to age, gender. We've had the not too young to rule. Yeah. Now the gender now too. We are working towards this female inclusivity too, where we want to ensure that at least we have one member per state in the House of Reps. The debate is ongoing, and I'm sure it's going to skate through this time around. It failed through during the night assembly. We want to ensure that it sails through. In the area of PWD too, people with disability, we're doing so much to ensure that they have access to voting and there are no discrimination against them. Area of inmates too. Yes, some people are there for just minor offenses and they are being discriminated against in their voting. So we are looking, there's a bill already to ensure that inmates are able to vote. They vote in Ghana, they vote in South Africa, in some other countries. And also essential workers, police,
like
army, yes, essential workers, so we're going to do early voting.
Yeah.
To do early voting probably a week before the elections. These are the areas we've already been looking at to ensure that there's inclusivity in our electoral process. And in ensuring some of these too, we want to ensure that we eliminate ambiguity in our laws, because before we want to ensure that all litigations are concluded before elections, then you must reduce the litigation period. And by the time you remove ambiguity in the electoral laws, then it will be very easy, because sometimes people go to court trying to test the loophole in the law. So you just waste credible time.
I'll just ask you a question straight there. I don't know whether you finished, whether you wanted to add.
Yes, and area too, we're also looking at the area of internal democracy of the party.
Good. So
how the primaries will be more credible. And then, because most of the problems we have, most of the tribunals are more, court cases are more about pre-election matters.
Like what is happening with PDP now, where you have two secretaries fighting for the same position.
Yes, after this amendment, all these issues will be sorted out. If there's going to be any congress or primaries, there must be laid out rules. This are where it's going to be. The venue will be clear, the committee will be clear, the electoral committee will be clear. Who should INEC recognize? And INEC will also be present in every congresses and primaries.
But that has been the issue since. That has been the case since.
Sometimes now is good. You must be there.
Okay, you must be there. It's going to be mandatory. Now, you've raised two issues. I hope I remember them. One, you didn't raise the other one, so I'm going to include that one.
Okay.
But you've raised another issue, that of litigation. Adebayo, is it possible? Because Ghana just concluded its election. I don't think...
I was there.
I don't think...
It's not different from ours.
Good. Well, I don't know about that, because the chairman did say that Nigeria learned from Ghana.
No, what he just said, he said the use of beavers.
Yeah.
We started the use of beavers.
Yeah, but it looks like they perfected it. What I'm actually bringing up is that...
There's no difference.
What I'm actually...
Let me tell you the difference.
So what is the difference?
Let me tell you.
Good.
It's just our trust level. We don't trust ourselves. We don't trust the system.
Which is compounded by the politicians are there.
It's not, look, politicians are made from the people who we are. Because you don't trust, even we don't trust ourselves as individuals.
Yeah, but the talk is that the politicians always, even INEX has it, they always try to find a way to
circumvent. Who are the politicians? We are all the same. Look,
I'm not a politician.
Who told you?
I'm a media person. I'm not a politician.
Sure you have your own politics. You have your NUJ, Union of Journalists.
We play politics, yes. People
you play politics. We're in the family. When you have 5 years, I'm daddy's baby, I'm mommy's baby.
You know the Joseph Jacob problem.
That's politics. So in everywhere, yes, the family is the smallest nucleus of the society. There are a lot of politics everywhere. The issue is we don't trust ourselves. We must learn to trust ourselves. So the National Orientation Agency must start doing a lot of work in that regard.
Yeah, because I don't know how the reform is going to tackle that. But the one I wanted to add was I didn't see you talk about diaspora.
Yes, it's also one of the bills that we have, but the issue is, like I tell people, diaspora is not just about Europe and America. Diaspora is about even all the small countries, West African countries, South African countries. And in a situation where we don't even have a NIN number, everybody don't have. And we are seeing to even deepening, we are talking to NIMSI. I just had a meeting between INEC and NIMSI recently, trying to see how we can ensure that we have a NIN number on the voters register. So you must be inclusive, because it is only when you have that unique number that everybody, that's why you can even be sure that he is a Nigerian. If you want to vote in Ghana, go to the Republic of Benin, you can just walk over to the Republic of Benin. There's no difference. You can't tell any difference between a Nigerian and a Beninois. So before you can start the diaspora voting, then you must first have that unique number that must differentiate you from other
and
people.
So from what you're saying now, it doesn't look like it's going to happen next year, next 2 years?
No, there are a lot of, even if we want to start today, then where is going to be the voting center? There are a lot of activities that will still need to be done. If you want to put in every country, that means the law says you must go to a polling unit. You must have INEC representative. You must have agents of the party. These are all the things that you must look into before you say, okay, we want to do diaspora voting.
So it's not as simple as we seem to talk
First thing is it visible? Yes, it's visible.
Are we making attempts towards
that's why I said, if you want to start, let's start by even ensuring that we all have our NIN number. If you have your NIN number, then you have your NIN number on your voters register. Very soon I will not be talking about PVC again. Once you have your NIN number, it's integrated into INEC register. You get to a situation now that once you get to 18, the system would know that you are already 18 because you are registered.
Okay. In what ways will this reform stop electoral malpractices like vote buying, electoral violence, political interference?
Vote buying and vote selling is about the people. You see,
about the people?
It's about the people. You see, you can't legislate everything.
I don't know what you mean by the people, because it's the politicians that buy votes. That's
Do you know there are more people who want to sell vote now than people want to buy? People want to sell vote.
People who want to sell
votes. We're looking for people to buy.
Because how do you sell your vote? I mean,
you see, an average. That's why I say we have to work on ourselves as Nigerians, on our orientation. An average Nigerian believes that, look, you can't take my vote for free. These are areas we need to work on our orientation.
Okay, sell vote.
Yes.
Okay, you have to pay me to vote.
You have to pay. So even we are there, some people say, it's like people are walking around waiting for someone to call them. And now the situation is now so tight now.
That's what I'm asking.
These are orientational issues. We need to reorientate. It's not got nothing to do about the politician.
So there's
Okay,
no...
okay. As a contestant, I'm going to be in my unit on that day. Will I be in every unit of my constituency?
Okay, we always talk about, in fact, the name says Independent National Electoral Commission, but the sticking point there is that independent. Is INEC, in fact, there's no need saying is. INEC is not really independent, particularly when it comes to who funds INEC. The Piper dictates the tune. Is reform going to tackle that?
Well, it's the government that funds every agency. You can't fund it by any other means. But one of the areas we are also looking at now, because INEC is generally being underfunded as it is. Even the last budget session we had, the envelope given to INEC was not even up to maybe 1/4 of what they demanded. They demanded 40 billion, 126 billion, they were giving 40 billion. And that could not even solve their personnel costs.
That's 1/3.
That could not, about 1/3, so that could not even solve their personnel costs. INEC, I think after police, is the next in real estate, because they have offices in about 860 locations, 774 local governments. They have all the states and FCT. They have their zonal stores and they have their headquarters. They have 14,735 permanent staff. So this is a very big organization. We're not talking about ad hoc staff. We're not talking about a nation period. These are autonomous expenditure they must spend every year. And their personnel cost at the end of the day gets to about 85 billion naira.
So what's the National Assembly doing about it?
Yeah, we're looking at it. We're looking at it. The leadership is also looking at it.
You know why I brought that question?
Can do. Because when you talk about that, now even in looking at that now, during the session, we also look at why should the federal government be the only one funding INEC? INEC does not just do the presidential election and the National Assembly election. It does the state governor's election and the state assembly elections.
And that's where I'm coming in now. During a recent roundtable held by Yagra Africa, most chairpersons lamented how state governors deprive CX, state independent electoral commissions, of funds. In some cases, even the governors do the procurements.
Well, I don't know about that, but the area we are going to get to, even by the time we finish, you see, INEC didn't get to this level just one day, based on CSOs, arrangements, and all these seminars, conferences. We're able to improve INEC from what it used to be to what it is today. The involvement of beavers is actually the game changer in every game now, in every politics.
Now you're talking about beavers, Adebayo. Let's talk. I mean, the issue of last election, was that INEC promised, as it were, that they would transmit results on the IRF portal real time. But then that wasn't what happened. So how is the reform going to address this matter?
Excuse me, you see, sometimes people just want to listen to what they want to hear. They want you to say what they want to hear. The law says, paste the results on the billboard within the units. By the time you collect everything, you paste it there. Then INEC, now, it was after the electoral that INEC itself, made this RF system. It's just supposed to be a back-end means for INEC to be able to see what happened in all the results. It's not what they expected it to be, because there are some areas where you don't even have internet service. How will you get real time in all states and local government in Nigeria? It was not possible, but at least once you take it, they said the result will be sent immediately. It doesn't mean it will be able to go. But some people now say they should make it a law. But if you now make what is not possible a law, that means you want to create a lacuna.
Why is it not possible?
No, because what is not possible, because every part of Nigeria cannot get service at the same time. There are so many areas that you will not get service in
Okay,
Nigeria.
why don't we do the ones that can get service?
You see, what is important is you got in your results. Every party gets a copy of the results. Security officer gets a copy of the results.
But
it's
then,
like,
that's the snag. Because I just mentioned governors and CX. You know, I talked about electoral malpractices, thugs cutting away ballot boxes, and then what do you call them? Regs being forced to manipulate their figures at the polling station. So, I mean,
you see, let me tell you something. Elections are done in the units. And when election is going on, no INEC staff is involved on that from morning till afternoon after the close of vote. No INEC officer is involved. All of them are ad hoc staff, youth corpers, and probably some teachers in some areas where they don't have enough youth corpers. So no INEC staff is involved. So it doesn't matter if you know the INEC chairman, because it's not going to be involved. And every result will be given at the unit. And your agent is expected to have a copy of the result. You are supposed to have your own situation room where you collate all the results. Let me ask you, how many people went to court during the last election to contest the results, to say that unit we scored 350, they gave us 200.
Now
in so area. So most of the things the people went to court for were mostly on qualification of candidates and pre-election matters. I was the candidate of the party, no, they gave it to someone else. Or the person, the winner did not qualify because this is that.
Yeah, why some people don't go to court is because of...
they still went to court, but I said they didn't go to court on the basis of the results.
Yeah. Okay, but...
Because that means there was not so much problem with the results. You see, because you have, let me tell you something.
Many Nigerians don't agree with what you're saying.
It's not for some people to agree. Opposition will never agree. So when you're talking about Nigeria, you talk about reasonable Nigerians who understand the system, not an aggrieved person. So there's no way you can convince your opposition. So I'm not ready to convince your opposition. But what I'm saying is, in an election, you have your results. Just like you have a company, you get reports from every unit. You bring a report to every unit. I have it already. I'm now asking for, post the result from that place. I have it already. Your party has the result from every unit. Go and collate. One of the parties that is making noise was collating real time all their results. When they got to a level that they thought they were losing, they shut down. Maybe one of the things we can even introduce is that every party should also open a situation room and make it public, make it real time.
I have not heard that any party went to the court in Ghana election. Why?
Because they trust the system.
Yeah, okay, that's what I'm asking. Why is it that our results or whatever are always decided by courts? Is there any way the reform is going to?
No, you see, if you don't go to court, court will not come and meet you.
I know.
Because you went to court, because people didn't go to court in Ghana. That's why they
didn't go to court
because
in Ghana
they believe in their own
because the system
because they trusted their
was
system
credible and transparent.
Excuse me. You see, okay, how many of them won? If you are saying it's credible, maybe here in Nigeria it's fraudulent. How many cases were upturned? How many? Most of the ones that were upturned were issued on pre-election matters. The one in Jos, Plateau, was pre-election matters.
Okay, let me ask you this question because we have less time now. The Justice Mohammed Uwais-led Electoral Reform Committee has recommended an Electoral Offences Commission. Does Nigeria need one? Is this being addressed? Is it going to be addressed?
Yes, we have the bill. Yes, we have the bill. We are looking into it, and most likely it will, because it to still go for public hearing. Okay. We'll go for public hearing because sometimes we forget one thing, that it's Nigerians that makes the law. We are just our representative. It is what you want we give to you, but most of the time we don't know. We are not supposed to even initiate many laws. Is that executive? There should be private bills. When you feel, if you are in the media, if there's any law that you feel is wrong, it's for you or your body, your professional body, to come up with an amendment and just give it to a representative to sponsor for you. So, and whenever we pass it at second reading, It now goes to the committee and the public for public hearing, because professionals in that field and the stakeholders in that field must be able to contribute into the creation of the bill. But most of the time is when you go for public hearing, you invite so many stakeholders,
of course,
and they don't
come and talk.
Talk about now. Imagine what happened with NSAS. To now say that when the bill on state police was sent to a place like Lagos, people didn't come out in Lagos.
Adebayo, just maybe in a sentence or so, how is this reform going to deal with the results of tampering, intimidation of electoral officials by political actors? How is this reform going to deal with that?
Yes, the electoral tribunal will deal with that. But the issue is, like, most of the time, once you win an election or lose an election, people lose interest in going to court again. They will now say, look, we've lost, you want to waste your money again. You have won. You better thank God that you have won. Is it that you better thank God that you have won, or do you want to continue to lose money again? Then people just forget the case. They start it and they leave it there.
All right. Thank you so much. Adebayo Balogun, Chairman, the Committee on Electoral Matters. Correct. Thank you for being on Arise Prime Time.
You're welcome.
Well, that's it for this edition of Arise Prime Time. Please join us again tomorrow from me and the entire team here in Abuja. Goodbye, and thank you for watching.